Today, we're going to take a little vulnerable dive into my life and talk through some of the pros and cons of being a full-time videographer. This really is the best career in the world, and I'll shout that from the rooftops every opportunity I can. But after my 7 years as a full-time videographer, there are definitely a few cons that not a lot of people think about when first pursuing this as a career. So stick around to the end of the video. I guarantee that you'll learn something. And if you don't, I'll give you your money back. Maybe, I don't know. So if you're new to this channel, which there's a good chance that all of you are, since I only have about 400 subscribers and 97% of my viewers aren't yet subscribed, I'd appreciate the subscribe to follow along. We're on a mission here to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which when I first set out for this goal about a month ago, it seemed impossible. But over the last month, I've seen so much love and so much support from these videos that I'm pumped to see where it can go from here. So let's jump right into it. I had the pleasure of going straight into full-time videography after graduating with my 4-year degree in marketing. I was 23 at the time, and I needed very little to live on since I was rolling with that college budget. So I decided to give it a go, and here I am 7 years later with a full-blown family, still doing what I love to do every single day. Now, I want to preface this video with a few facts on the front end. Although this is a pros and cons video, I am still so thankful to be where I am and have the job that I truly enjoy waking up to every single day of the week. There are definitely a few cons, but I don't want that to shy away from just how incredible of a career this actually is. The cons are specifically something to look out for and something I've had to navigate with my family along the way. Now, let's jump right into the pros of the job, the good stuff, why I love this career, and why I think everyone who has a passion for video should at least attempt it. Up first, I'd have to put the flexible schedule at the top of this list. You see, instead of waking up every morning and being at a specific location or locked into a cubicle or locked into hourly work every day, I can wake up and really look at my to-do list and decide just how much I'm going to need to work that day. Now, don't get me wrong, most days I'm still behind the computer 7 to 8 hours and answering emails on my phone at night, but the overall flexibility when having a family is just something you can't get at any other job. For family visits to the doctor's office, or if the weather is super nice out and we want to go to the park one morning, I am always available and can always squeeze more family time in around my work schedule. The same flexible schedule goes for this work from anywhere idea. Working remote is such a huge part of our culture today, and as long as it comes to interacting with clients via email or editing or managing a team, I can do that from wherever I have internet access. The flexible schedule can move from less of a day-to-day schedule and more of a working from anywhere approach. There will be more on this later, because if you're not good at managing your time or shutting off your business, this can also quickly lead to a con of the job. But we'll talk more about that in the cons section later on. Up next, and this kind of goes along with the pro of number one, is working from home. And I can't tell you how much I love being right downstairs to my family when editing or working in the office. Shoot, even these videos right here are filmed in my office upstairs, and sometimes we have to edit baby noises out from the microphone. It is what it is, but it is so worth it. Working from home has so many benefits when it comes to no travel time to and from an office, and I'm able to just walk right downstairs and have lunch with my family every single day. If you're single, or well, if you just hate your family, I can definitely see how this wouldn't make it into your pros list, but for me, it is so fantastic. So working from home and having a home office is definitely pro number two. Lastly, a pro that I really want to touch on is having ownership of your work. It just feels good to have a business that's all yours, or that you have ownership in. Being able to create content for others and being behind the brand that created that content is so huge. Having a thriving business related to your name is something that is so special to be able to just have. And that's just another pro of being a full-time videographer. To put it simply, it is really cool to be able to create things that people are proud to show off. So there you have it, folks. Probably my top 3 points of why I love being a full-time videographer: the flexible work schedule, working from home and having a home office, and lastly, taking ownership of your work and creating for others. Now, let's dive right into the nitty-gritty and the cons of the job. Again, like I stated in the intro and throughout this video, I love what I do, but these cons are definitely something that I've had to learn how to live around. And con number one happens to be no weekend availability. As a videographer that focuses on live events, you can best guarantee that every Saturday from here on out, I'll be working and don't even think about spending time with friends on a Saturday or on a weekend. Since the entire world is set to a typical Monday through Friday 9 to 5 work schedule, that means all the big fun things with friends typically happen on Friday nights or Saturdays or just on weekends in general. And although it feels great to maybe sleep in on a random Tuesday and not work as much as your other friends during the week, it definitely stinks watching everyone else have the time of their life every weekend while you're stuck driving to another event or gearing up to finally go to work, especially as an event videographer. All of the events happen on weekends. You might not find this as prominent if your main client is corporate businesses or interviews, but if that's the case, you're just stuck filming boring business interviews the whole time. So it's definitely a give and take, and that's why con number one is never having a weekend available for anything fun. Con number two, no benefits, no health insurance, no job security. We're gonna loop this all into one section here because it's all somewhat related. At your basic corporate job, you're already set up with benefits and health insurance, and the company is matching every dollar that you put into retirement and paying over half of your health insurance cost. This is actually so much money that you're essentially kissing away to follow your dreams. Health insurance in the US is so crazy expensive out of pocket, and if you're a full-time videographer over the age of 26, like me, you'll be paying big bucks every month out of pocket for basic health insurance. It's really pretty bad. Same thing goes for things like retirement benefits. As a self-employed videographer, I have to make sure that I'm taking the proper steps to set up a retirement account so that I have some investments ready to go when I reach the retirement age. Now, this one isn't as bad because you'd want to do this anyway, no matter what job you have. But if you have a normal job, they typically offer a match to a certain percentage within retirements. So having an employer add additional money into your retirement is definitely a plus that you don't get to receive as a videographer. And along the same lines, as an employee, you assume hardly any risk, which puts all the job security on you as a videographer to get out there and land new clients daily. The up and down trends of booking and always worrying about if you have enough money to make it through the quarter and if the business can survive another is quite exhausting. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as a con when pursuing videography full-time. No benefits, no health insurance, and no job security. I've learned how to manage by setting up my own retirement accounts, managing money as a business owner rather than like an employee, and paying thousands of dollars every month out of pocket for decent health insurance. For me, it's all still worth it, but there are definitely some months where I was wishing that I had an employer who could just pay my health insurance and worry about my job security for me. Con number three might not make a lot of sense to people out there, but if you're expecting to grow a business in the videography world, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Con number three is that videography businesses tend to have a non-traditional exit strategy. Meaning, what's the exit? In traditional business, say you own a plumbing company, you could always grow that business large enough and have a large enough clientele that when it's time to retire, you can sell that business for all that it's worth. Therefore, an exit strategy. After a little bit of research and really just discussing this idea over the years, I really don't know of many videography businesses that are able to sell. Mainly because it's such a new business model, but also because there aren't many that have grown a creative team or a clientele large enough in the single camera operator space to be able to sell the entire business. Now, if you're more in the cinema world, that might be a different take, but as far as businesses in the single camera operator live event style, it is rare to see them sell for a proper valuation. Might not be something that you ever consider, but I definitely look at the exit strategy of growing a videography business when compared to growing other businesses of the same size. This can definitely be a con. Con number 4 is something that I briefly touched on earlier, and that's the old saying of, I ditched the 9 to 5 and now I work 24/7 instead. This is so true as a business owner and so true if you aren't good at managing your own time. It is so easy to be on your phone all night checking emails and be engulfed in your business's social media pages, studying the growth and ignoring your personal life. Sometimes you just have to shut it off, and that can be so difficult. So That just about wraps up all the cons of the job. No weekend availability, no benefits, job security, or health insurance, a difficult exit strategy, and not knowing how to manage time and shut it off at the end of the workday. But like I said time and time again throughout this video, those cons are worth every worry. So there you have it, people. Those are some of my pros and cons of the job when discussing my role as a full-time event videographer. Hopefully I did a good job at explaining that I really do love what I do, and I really do get so much enjoyment out of this business. But it's definitely helpful to know some of the pros and the cons of anything that you can learn about before diving into this fully. If you learned anything at all, or are interested in hanging around for more video content related to cameras and the business behind it all, I would love to have you. We're on a mission here to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, and I think we can definitely do it. So I'll see you guys on the next one.